Just like disc brakes have replaced rim brakes, electronic shifting has replaced mechanical, and wider tyres have replaced narrow, this new technology, the battery-powered mini pump, now replaces the hand pump or the CO2 cartridge. I've been sent this CYCPLUS AS2 Ultra mini pump for review, and by the end of this video, I'm sure that you'll agree that this is a better option to take with you on rides for tyre re-inflation after punctures. Realistically, you'll probably end up using this at home to top up your tyres as well, so long as no one is around to get upset by the noise. This thing is tiny. It measures just 64 by 43 by 28 millimeters, a little bit bigger than a box of matches, and the air outlet housing protrudes just an extra 3 millimeters. And the weight, next to nothing, claimed 89 grams. It will easily fit into a saddlebag, your jersey pocket, or your down tube storage. Just make sure that it doesn't slide to the bottom of the down tube recess, otherwise you might have to tip your bike upside down and shake it to get it out again. I'd say it's smaller in size than a CO2 cartridge and an inflator together, and obviously it's smaller than a hand pump. It has a smooth housing with mostly rounded edges, and it also comes with a silicone cover which adds a little to the bulk that makes it much easier to grip. Useful when you're on the side of the road, tired and cold, trying to get a puncture sorted out. The silicone cover also provides some insulation against the high levels of heat that are produced when the pump's in use. There are 3 small buttons below the little display screen. The top one powers the unit on and off and also starts and stops the airflow. The middle button increases the air pressure cutoff and the lower button decreases it. It's very hard to see the markings on the buttons themselves, and it's even harder on the silicone case, so I'd recommend committing the order to memory. Also, the buttons are tiny and very close together, which might pose some problems if you're wearing full finger-length gloves. I'd much prefer to have larger buttons that were better spaced out and with clearer markings on them, or maybe even illuminated buttons like some other brands of pumps have. The maximum pressure from this pump is 120 psi, but if you prefer to work in bars of pressure, just press the plus and minus button simultaneously, and this will toggle between a psi reading and a bar reading. The display is small, but it clearly shows the pressure reading and also how much battery life remains, with 3 bars of battery being the maximum charge. The air outlet can be configured for either Schrader or Presta valves. To alternate between the 2 valve settings, you'll need to unscrew the air outlet housing, choose which orientation you want for the rubber grommet and also for the metal sleeve. So changing between the 2 valve systems out on the road is a bit fiddly, and there's a high risk of dropping and losing one of the components. So it's best to prepare for the most likely requirement before leaving home. To connect to a Presta valve, unscrew the valve head to the open position first. Now push the pump onto the valve. You will need to use a reasonable amount of force here, because if the valve head is not well past the rubber grommet, then the tyre will not inflate. If you don't have it connected properly, you will soon know, so you can turn it off and try again. This CYCPLUS pump comes with an extension hose which is designed for use with TPU tubes or any plastic valve housing like this one, which is less tolerant of heat buildup. In this situation, the hose is actually screwed onto the Presta valve by use of an adapter, or if you have a Schrader valve, the adapter is not required. Unlike CO2 cartridges which get icy cold as the gas rushes out, this pump, like all the rest, heats up very quickly with use. The silicone cover certainly helps with heat protection to protect your hand. However, with repeated use back to back, you will definitely need to put the pump down and let it cool. Even with a silicone case, when I inflated the 28mm tyre of my Athos twice in a row to 100 psi, the pump was uncomfortably hot to hold by the end, and there was a clear overheating smell of the pump, not my skin. I'm not sure if this pump has a safety cutoff or if it just keeps going despite the heat build-up, and if this would damage the pump. All of these pumps, including the AS2 Ultra, are noisy and they create a loud drone. You might want to consider where you are and what time it is before you turn this on. If you're dealing with a puncture at 5:30 AM right outside someone's home, you might be adding to the long list of people who don't like us cyclists. In my testing, the AS2 Ultra, when it's fully charged, can inflate the 28mm tyre on my AFOS twice in a row, or the 42mm tyre on my Checkpoint twice in a row. If you are relying on this as your only means of re-inflating a punctured tyre, you are asking for trouble if you do not fully charge it before you go on your ride. And if you need to re-inflate more than 2 tyres on any given ride, then I'm sorry, you're having a really bad day and this may not get you through. How long does it take to inflate a tyre? Well, it's not as quick as a CO2 canister, but it is much quicker and much easier than a hand pump. Generally, about 1 minute to 1.5 minutes is required, depending on your tyre specifications. And here is the chart that is supplied by CYCPLUS. The CYCPLUS website quotes a charge time from flat battery to fully charged in 25 minutes, and this matches my experience, and that's pretty quick really. Thankfully it charges via USB-C and it comes with its own charging cable to add to the dozens that you've already got. This pump is specifically not waterproof, so it's strongly recommended that it's kept in a waterproof bag or container. It's shipped with this Ziploc bag which will do the trick. Unfortunately, one of my dogs took a liking to this one, so I'll have to find another. There are many battery-powered mini pumps on the market, and this CYCPLUS AS2 Ultra regularly performs very well on comparison tests. It is very small, very light, and very simple to use. Even if you need to or choose to regularly use the hose as well, rather than apply the pump straight onto the valve. By comparison, a hand pump is much bigger, requires muscle power to operate, and sometimes you can struggle to reach higher pressures. CO2 canisters are one use only. They are seldom recycled, so they end up in landfill, making them pretty bad for the environment. They are prone to usage errors if you are not familiar with them, meaning that if you make a mistake while using it, the gas might escape before you get it into the tyre. Would I recommend the CYCPLUS AS2 Ultra Mini Pump? Yes, of course. It represents modern simplicity, convenience, and it's great value. Yes, it means that there's one more thing that we need to remember to charge. We're all getting used to this, aren't we? Just add it to the nighttime pre-ride routine. If you've enjoyed this video, please give a thumbs up, like, consider subscribing to my channel and turn on notifications. Then I'll see you in the next video.